first half, basically. Didn't really, besides the first drive, offensively, we just didn't do anything. We needed to run the football, we needed to get the quarterback involved, and we did both. And so that really kind of changed the game, and our kids started getting stops on defense.
Talk about the way they played with their backs against the goal line there, a couple goal line stands.
I was very proud of them. That's what I told them in the locker room. It's, you know, you have to do some things like that. I knew if we could get out of the half after we did all that and still be up, that you had a chance to win. And, you know, then finally we got going, and some good things happened. We got bowl eligible, which really not anything really good has happened for these guys this year. They haven't got a lot of breaks, and they've fought their tails off. We've had some down moments, but to be honest with you, they've really done an unbelievable job of fighting through the really great group of kids. Very proud of Foster coming in, Kenny trying to get back in, guys fought back, and we just, you know, there's a lot of people that did a lot of good things today for us to get done what we need to get done. And the coaches, to be honest with you, I mean, it's been a long season. It's hard on everybody when it's not going the way you'd like it to go.
Did you sense something extra on the Texas side because of what was going on with them?
Oh, no, I didn't worry about Texas. I had no problems. We had no problems getting the offense going and having to play defense. So we're just glad to win.
You mentioned fighting back through the injuries. Kenny, when exactly did he hurt his hamstring, and was that before his touchdown run?
No, it wasn't hamstring. It was his ankle. Well,
okay.
He had hurt his ankle after the game. We didn't know. He didn't really practice all week. So we didn't know he played. As a game time decision, and he was ready to go, and he played, and he re-hurt it, I think. So he'll have to go through what he's got to go through to get ready to go and do what he needs to do again this week against Kansas State.
He scored 2 touchdowns for you, and he had a long 41-yard run. Did he look like he was moving okay on it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he said he was ready to go. In fact, he was ready to go back in. Just, you know, Foster was doing what he needed to do. There was no reason for us to change anything.
How key was that drive there with Foster and the reserve running backs? Fourth quarter, Kyle over there getting treatment, Kenny getting treatment, and again, you go 97 yards. That was a pretty impressive run.
Well, won the ball game for us. Basically, it flipped the switch and took all the air out of them. And, you know, it's, Darius Anderson and Shawo and Mr. Johnson, all those guys have come a long way. You know, the future's bright for us. We don't lose any, and so.
And Anderson, it's kind of like his coming out party as a true freshman, huh?
Well, I don't know. I'm not ready to anoint him. You know, as all freshmen, some days he's here, some days he's not. But he's, you know, he had a good ball game, and that one run was unbelievable. And then he had the one down the sideline. So I don't want to take anything away from him. But anytime, usually it works a lot better when they ease into the success part. Then their sophomore and junior years seem to go a lot better when that happens. So everybody was excited for him. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for us that he did it. Now let's go try to beat Kansas State.
Yeah, you said a few weeks ago he had been pitching to play. Darius.
Well, you know, he ran well. I thought the West Virginia game he had some. I thought he ran well in the Baylor game. So future's bright, because what's going to happen is those guys are going to learn the offense. And then out of a two-back deal, we'll be able to be in anything we used to be. That's why with Nixon being gone, that's really hurt us early in the year, because we couldn't line up with two backs, and then he can line up as empty or four wides, and doing all the things that we've done in the last couple of years, because they're learning the offense. And so not only do they learn running back, but then the more they learn how to play wide out and line up and everything else we do, the better we're going to get. And so, you know, we're going to lose an offensive lineman and a wide receiver off that whole offense, and we're going to gain some guys. So we're excited about those things right now.
You'd said earlier in the year that yards didn't really matter, that it was about forcing turnovers and preventing touchdowns that you guys did today. How are you able to key the defense the way it was today? Well,
you know, they had almost 300 yards by halftime, and then I think until the final drive, they only gained like 80. I think they had like 354 or something like that in the middle of the fourth quarter. So our kids played hard. It became our advantage when they had to throw the football. So, you know, for me, we got another one. Give this senior class in 5 years has a chance to win 41 ball games. They're at 40 now, so give them an opportunity to win another one. And and find a way to get to 7 wins.
You're 4-1 against Texas now in the Big 12, and you've beaten them 3 straight years. TCU hasn't done that since 1938. Significance for you?
No, I hadn't even thought about it. For me, it's just about getting these kids, you go back to the goal. The goal is to give the seniors the best season they can have. If I start worrying about all the other stuff, and that's one of the things that I really wasn't happy with last year. We made too big a deal out of, it was my 200th game. Should have been just about beat Oklahoma State. So, for us, we're just trying to get to where we can get to 7 wins instead of being 6-6, which I think is a big positive. And then a chance to win 8, which I think would even be more.
How did the offensive line flip the switch in the second half? They were terrible in the first half and came on strong in the second.
I don't know if they were terrible. Just, you're not going to score very many points first and 20, second and 20.
Yeah, and starting every drive inside your own 20 and stuff, yeah.
And that hurt also in '97, when you let a punt go over your head for heaven's sakes. It's hard to call a ball game starting on your 4. And so, fortunately for us, we only turned the ball over one time. We got us which in our defense pulled out a stop, so we're just letting win.
What kind of job did y'all do against Foreman?
I don't know, he got 170, but everybody was talking about he was going to get 400. So I'm just glad that we had one more point than they did. He's a good back. I can tell you that. He's a good back. And as I said last week, 10 of those 2 guys from Oklahoma State, the way they've come on is a little bit more than what people are giving them credit for.
How happy were you with the way you played the deep ball, particularly as a game where they hit one early, but they didn't really hurt you much after that?
No, it's our kids. We've been really coming on since about Game 5, and that was my fault because we went man free, and I told him coming. He started up, and the guy ran a favorite. He ran a vertical route, and so he was coming up as the guy was running by him. So I'll take that one.
When did you know you weren't going to have Lewis or Turpin?
Last Sunday.
How did you feel like the other guys stepped up in those roles today? I mean, Deontay gave you a lot in the special teams. And
Deontay gave us a lot. And Jeff Gladney played really well.
He did.
Really, he's practiced well 2 weeks. He played well last week against Oklahoma State. He played really well today.
You think those guys might be back for next week?
Yeah, I think so. For sure, one of them. Turp was on the sidelines, and I haven't talked to Jay Lou, but we'll see how that all goes.
Let me try a different way. Where does 3 straight against Texas rank for you?
I really, again, let me just go back to, I don't know, I hadn't thought about it, and I'm more interested in where it is. I'm sure there's some old timers here that are way fired up about it. Maybe on the way home I'll be way fired up about it, but right now I'm just trying to get out of Austin.
We'll do 2 more with Coach.
4 of 19 on 3rd downs and 0 for 3 on 4th downs for UT tonight. How'd you guys come so far on 3rd downs?
Well, we played well last year. We've had some breaks. We've let some people out. A little bit snake bit. And so it's good for us. Number one, it helps us because we had them in 2nd and 3rd long. It's a lot easier to play in those situations than it is. And we finally played really well in 3rd and 4th down on the goal line and did some things. They dropped some balls, but it's one of those where you got to go play.
Last question.
Hard to win on the road.
You said you were going to talk to Charlie a little bit before the game. Did you share anything in
just told him,
particular with
this is not a
him?
good win. It's a great win for my team. It wasn't a good win for me. Anytime that you win against somebody that's going through what he's going through, yes or no, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Because what people don't understand, it's not the head coach. It's the 9 full-time assistants and their families. It's all the GAs. It's the quality control. It's the strength coach. You're talking about 25 families, possibly. It's not just not one guy. And so for me, it's Clay Jennings was on our staff. He's on their staff. It's all those things go into it. As I've gotten older, you got to have you got to get mad, get after it for 3 hours. After that, you need to have a little compassion for what's going on. I don't see much compassion going on, so give it something to me.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Player